sound super bright, but I wanted to try to get some thoughts out. I'm trying to conceptualize something. Um, it's what I call the theology of a farmer. Um, I guess I'm still a farmer. I have chickens, and my husband has pigs and cows, but I'm more of like a homestead now. I don't sell anything, but I am like stewarding the land. And so the theology of a farmer is this is how I'm going to describe my theology and like the way I view like eternal life and some of these ideas that we get from the Bible. And, you know, we have this view given to us in the Bible of heaven and what it looks like. And when I was given the kind of outline of what heaven looks like when I was a child, the one given to us in Revelation, where like it's like a crystal city and you're there forever and ever. And I kind of was scared of that. I was like horrified by this idea that we're gonna be in one place forever and ever. It was kind of like scary to me. Not really the like being burned forever in hell, but like they're just spending eternity in heaven in this place that I didn't really understand. It's like a crystal city. It just kind of seemed very foreign to me, kind of like out there, like space type thing image in my head. But now as I've gotten older, and I read that the heavenly Jerusalem comes down from the clouds. At the very, very end of Revelation. And so it's kind of like this heaven on earth thing. Also, I feel like the Bible is like this journey, it's a journey through life. And in the Old Testament, they journeyed to the promised land. They had like these hardships all throughout their journey of like 40 years through the desert to get to the promised land, and then they still had to like fight to take over that land. But it was like a perfect land flowing with milk and honey. There was like, it was prophesied that there would be like vines there that they didn't plant, and they would eat from all this fruit that they didn't have to work for. They kind of did, because they had to fight their enemies to subdue the land. But it was a physical land. The promised land was here on earth, and it was like heaven on earth. Okay, then also think about in the Garden of Eden with Adam and Eve. In the beginning, it was heaven on earth. They had everything they needed. Plants were just growing. They didn't have to plant them. There wasn't any like working. There was no sweat of the brow curse where he had to like deal with thorns and weeds and stuff like we have today. And I do regenerative agriculture, and the more you do it, you see that you have less weeds. And a lot of the ways that people are managing the earth, they're doing tilling, which actually causes more weeds. And it's kind of like an uphill battle, because you're working against nature instead of with it. So, I have all of these like archetypes for heaven, and it's like heaven on earth is my picture in my mind. And there's like a lot of people who are like new age people. I'm not saying new age Christians, I'm saying like new age spirituality, where they're like communicating with these like aliens, the Palladians and stuff, and they're like star seeds, and they think that their home is not here. They don't feel at home on earth, and they belong in a galaxy out there somewhere. And like, that's not me. Like, I feel like I'm super old. I've been on earth forever. I've been like reincarnating for ages, and I have Native American roots is what I really feel like. I feel super connected to nature, the earth, the ground, animals, and I kind of feel like the earth so many Christians, they think that the earth is just a throwaway piece of garbage, and our bodies are just throwaway pieces of garbage because they're just waiting for, heaven and their glorified bodies. And nobody's like enjoying the present moment and the earth as we have it now. And I just feel like I really want to help heal the land and make it to be how Jesus said it was, how we were supposed to be, and not worry about what we'll eat, what we'll wear, like how the lilies of the field, they don't worry about what they'll wear, but God takes care of them. He clothes them better than any kings in any palaces. And the birds of the air, they don't worry about what they'll eat because the Father feeds them. I think that's the way it should be. It should be heaven on earth. And we've been fighting against nature. We've been thinking that we're cursed and our earth is cursed and we're supposed to be sweating and toiling and going to our jobs for 8 hours a day, separated from our families. We'd rather be with our families, but no, that's like living into the flesh and our desires. We have to like have these terrible lives because that's what we're supposed to do, because we're a sin-cursed world and the earth is cursed. Life is hard. It will never be good. This earth is going to pass away by fire, so why should we even care about like fossil fuels and like pollution and stuff like that, and all the terrible things they put in our food and the way they ruin the earth with industrial agriculture. But yeah, I think it's that we need to be, there's so many like thoughts of that religion has given us, whether you're religious or not, about like escaping this life instead of just enjoying it. And I think we have to break out of those thought systems of lack and scarcity, and like that we're enemies against the earth and we don't belong here and the earth isn't our home. Like, because, and I mean, maybe it's different for other people, but for me, like, this is my home and it'll always be my home. And I'm waiting for heaven on earth. I'm waiting on that promised land. I have that idea in my mind that like one day I'm gonna have my little piece of land. I've never owned land. I'll never, I shouldn't say I'll never own land, but like, some people know like, oh yeah, when so-and-so dies, I'm going to inherit this land or whatever. Like, I don't have anything. None of my family owns land. And my husband's family, they own land, but it's like all already been divided up and he basically isn't going to get anything. So I just keep thinking that, even though that's my situation, I'm going to eventually be blessed with some land that I'm going to be able to steward, and it'll be mine, but it'll be, there's already vineyards there. There's already peach trees there. I say this because I have peach trees planted here in the place where we rent. I have asparagus planted here. I have lots of stuff planted here, and my chickens and everything. And it's kind of like, I hope one day I can have something like that, kind of like the promised land. I'm waiting for my little promised land, and I think that the world will get better, and more people will start waking up to the reality that we're not cursed. The land is not cursed. We should be stewarding it. We should be like Adam in the garden, just like always there with God, unashamed. And just like in the promised land where they didn't have to work. Everything was already planted by the generations before them. Like, I hope that my kids can have that, everything I worked for, maybe they will get, and then they can enjoy that heaven on earth. Because I do think it'll take time, but I do see that for the future, that there's going to be a heaven on earth. Heavenly Jerusalem comes down from the clouds. It may not be the way we think it's supposed to be, but I do believe in that.
What are you doing?